Welcome to our live calls. Let me just get that microphone up here a little bit closer so you can all hear me. Great to see you, Chris. Good to see you here. Denise, good to see you here. Grant, good to see you here. Mark, Howard, Tiano, good to see you here. We've got a few people coming on to our live call. We are going live on Facebook and on YouTube. Making sure that we are live on the streams. So welcome to essentially what is day 3 of our sessions, of our live sessions. So over the last couple of days, we've been talking about the whole concept of generating appointments, generating clients. We talked about offers. We talked about avatars and niche markets. We talked of ways of engaging those markets, where to find them, the things you need to do to go through. Today, what I want to do is to just go through a process, the things that I would do to go and get a client very quickly. And I'm going to share with you some ideas and concepts that you can use today to go and get some customers, and more importantly, to identify some people that you want to work with, where you can find those people. And I guess really the goal, or the number one goal for our session, is just to get to our next client, right? A lot of people have these ideas that I want $100,000 a month, or I want them 50 grand a month, and if they're not at that level, if they're way beyond that level, oftentimes when we start setting these big, hairy, audacious goals in relation to what we're trying to achieve, oftentimes, it's too big, lots of steps in between. We don't plan well enough for that process. And then when we've looked at a time frame of us to achieve that outcome, we don't achieve it. So for whatever reason, the goal is too big, we procrastinate on it, we hold ourselves back, we make choices that limit our thinking or limit our capabilities. We get to that point, and then we get down on ourselves, we get upset with ourselves, and then obviously, the cycle begins again. So let's not make a big, hairy, audacious goal at all, right? Let's just do one simple thing. One simple thing is let's go and just get a client. And if we can do that in the next 2 or 3 days, that would be awesome. If we could do that in the next week or so, that'll be awesome as well. But what I want to talk about today is just getting a client, someone to pay you something, right? Pay you something for something you provide, that you offer to the marketplace. And the idea is that we want to be able to get those clients, or get that client today, if we can, or the next 24 hours. That's the cool thing. So, Amy, good to have you here. Andy, good to have you here. Craig, Andy, I know you've been trying to get in the Facebook group. You've actually got to join Clients Unleashed to get access to that group, because we have units and modules in that Facebook group. So it's not a free Facebook group, but Clients Unleashed. If you want to join, go to clientsunleashed.com, and you'll be able to access the materials and the resources and the stuff that I've put together to help people accelerate this process of generating clients. Craig, good to have you here. Chris, as always, I think I sent you a video yesterday, Chris. I hope you got that. Good to see you here. So I'm just welcoming a few people along. We've got a whole bunch of people joining us. So let me get back to, okay. So my view, go back to that way. All right. So let's rock and roll. Our goal for you here, and those who are on the Facebook group and on YouTube watching this live, is to get our next customer. That's it. Just get our next client, right? So what do we got to do to get our next client? Right? The big question I've got to ask you, or the question you want to ask yourself, is what problem are you solving for people right now? What problem are you solving people? So I would, if I were you, get a blank sheet of paper, right? Work through this. I'm going to ask you a series of questions through this process, but it's pretty simple. We're going to be able to follow along, and you'll be able to rewatch this video in the recorded live stream, so you can go back to this. But number one, what problem are you solving? What is this thing that you're offering? What does it actually do for people, right? That's the number one, right? If it's a problem you're solving, what's your offer, right, to fix it? How much are you going to charge for that service? What price point is there? Are you going to charge the client a setup fee? Are you going to charge the client a fee to do strategy for them? Are you going to charge a recurring monthly fee? Are you going to charge, and then what is that price point that you're charging, right? Are you charging $1,000 for this service? Are you charging $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000? What are you charging for this thing? So we know what problem we solve, and our offer is our service, and we have a fee for that service. So we need to just be super clear about what that fee is. Now, think about the problem you're solving, the value proposition, right? The amount of money that people pay you, is that something that you would be happy to receive for the results that you think that you can get for the client, right? So I'll give an example just to give you a perspective. And this is not about, I'm not going to talk about pricing as a strategy. That's something that we cover in Clients Unleashed in great detail. But if we look at the pricing models, right? So let's say, for example, you're able to get 30 leads for somebody on Facebook, right? And off those 30 leads, let's say their worst case scenario is they get 3 sales, right? They close 10% of those 30 leads. So they're not going to close all of them. They might do, out of 30 leads, they might do 7 to 10 presentations. Out of 7 to 10 presentations, they get 3 sales. And depending on your client and the product and service they sell, what price point? So let's say the client, the average price point is $5,000 for a service, or $10,000 for a service. So 3 sales is 15 grand, or 3 sales could be 30 grand, right? Now, the question you've got to ask yourself is what price point in terms of what you sell and relation to the return, if they follow through and get the result, is that fair enough for you? Are you happy with receiving that investment? And at the same time, you've also got to make sure that you're profiting from this. Because if you're going to use a third-party provider to provide the service, you have to put that cost into consideration. So the basic price point I want you to look at from a costing point of view is that you want to be charging your own personal time out, hour-wise, at $100 an hour. Hour-wise at $100 an hour. At retail, right? At retail, that would be $300, right? So if you're going to spend 5 hours fixing a client's problem, that's $1,500 that you're going to charge the client, right? $1,500 you're going to charge the client. So 3 to 1. If you're using a resource partner, somebody who's going to do the work for you, whatever their price point is, multiply that by 3 on average. That gives you a 100% markup on retail, not a 50, like most people say 100% is doubling the price. 100% is not doubling the price. That's 50% of cost is doubling the price, right? 100% of cost is tripling the price. That way you're making a pure 100% gross profit margin on the fixed cost of the cost that you're selling at. So doubling the price is a 50% increase on cost, right? Tripling the price is 100% increase on cost. Retail as opposed to cost, right? Otherwise, most people get confused. Doubling the price is not 100% return on markup. That's 50%, right? Because you have to pay half of it back to the supplier. So if you're going to use a supplier, make sure you're going to make a profit on this service. Now, think about if you're just, and this is just from a perspective point of view, it's not really overly important in the initial stages, because in the early stages, if you're generating clients and you're providing a service, you're going to spend a lot more time on your first few clients than you would if you were dealing with a client where you've got all your systems and processes in line. So you're going to spend more time. So think about the number of hours roughly it's going to take you to facilitate that project. Now, whatever hours you pick, multiply that by 3. So generally when somebody says, oh, it'll take me 6 hours, then I'll say multiply that by 3, and that's 18 hours. On average, it's going to take you 18 hours to do a 6-hour project, because you don't know. You're in the stages of developing, evolving, refining, fine-tuning. So if you say it's going to take me 5, I'll guarantee it's going to take you 15, right? You're going to dedicate 15. So if you're going to dedicate that amount of time, think about it. Am I getting paid enough for the value or for the time that I invest in this? Right now, I don't want to go too much in the pricing. We've gone a little bit too far down the rabbit hole of pricing. I'll be talking a little bit about that, or we talk about that in Clients Unleashed. So, the offer, the investment. That's the second thing that you want to take into consideration. The next, right, is rather than when we say the who, what types, like more than one type of business can benefit from what you offer. So what I'd like you to do is just write down 3 types of businesses that can benefit from the offer. Right? So just 3. So it might be a plumber might benefit, an accountant might benefit, an engineering firm might benefit, a IT firm might benefit, a SaaS company might benefit. 3 businesses that will directly benefit from the thing, the problem that you solve and what you have to offer. Just 3, right? 1, 2, 3. And that's the next part in this process, right? So then what is the framework? Now, yesterday we talked about this concept. I think it was yesterday. We talked about this concept, or actually it was the day before when we did the offers. So if you go back 2 videos ago, you'll see the offer video. I talk about the framework, the solution, and the outcome, right? So for yourself, just be very clear that, okay, well, this is what the problem is. And if this problem continues for people, then this is what it costs. This is the damage that occurs if they don't solve this problem, right? So this is my take on how I'm going to fix this, right? You know, we might do, and I'm going to choose Facebook ads as an example, but this is how we fix this, right? We're going to develop a strategy, devise and find or create an offer, a relevant offer to the market. Then we're going to do the creative, the copy, the optimization of that account. And then we've got to be able to manage or track the results. So we want to be able to making sure that we've got feedback, or do we actually plug that into some form of lead management software like Go High Level or Salesforce or Pipedrive or whatever system somebody uses? Does it track in so we can actually track the lead where it goes, right? And then that is the solution, right? So what is the result? So if we're able to do this, and we roughly trying to aim for at least 30 or 50 opportunities, out of 30 or 50 opportunities, what's going to happen is we're going to be able to manage those effectively in real time. We'll be able to track the results. We might be able to record the phone calls. And so this is going to give people a much more positive ROI, because they're going to see a direct measurement of the action, the activity, and the process as part of that outcome, right? So we know what the problem is, we know what the solution is, which is your framework, and we know what the outcome is if they got what result we're looking to generate for the client, right? So you generally want to have 3 or 4 really strong bullet points as to the results that this process that you're taking people through is going to help them with, right? This is a very simple structure on making sure that you're very clear about what you're offering and how you're offering that to the market, right? So the goal is, and this is just the idea, we want to help somebody this week, right? We want to be able to help somebody this week, which means we're, in my world, I'm Wednesday, but in your world, if you're in the United States, for our American cousins, it is Tuesday for you. If you're in Europe, I think you're Tuesday evening, heading into your Wednesday the next day, or Wednesday evening, depending where you are in the world. So whatever time you've got left before the end of the week, the goal is that you're going to help somebody. And I'm going to share with you a whole bunch of ideas on how you can help somebody, because the goal is to have somebody take an interest in what you have to offer, and from that interest you're going to help them, and then from that help you're going to ask them, hey, you can do all this yourself, or would you like me to do it for you? And I'm going to share with you openers that you can use or do to help people, openers that you can use to do or help people. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you as we go through this. So your goal is to go and help somebody. You might want to help, like in my goal, if I had the next couple of days, I'd try and help at least 2 people. 2 or 3 people would be what I'm going for, right? So what you're going to help them with, and the offer that you can make is, for example, hey, it's end of year, so here's the opportunity, right? So it's coming up to the end of year. 2021 is upon us. Let's make January 2021 huge. So what I'd like to do is I'm offering a couple of people where I'd like to create their ad campaign for them. I'd like to craft or create the ad campaign, right? So if you're interested in creating a compelling offer and an ad campaign that you want to launch, let me help you. I'd love to do an ad campaign. I'm just going to help a couple of people craft a campaign that they can launch out into 2021 January, right? That's an offer. If you're a Facebook advertiser, Google advertiser, mainstream advertiser, direct response advertiser, you can help people create an ad, right? Next offer. Let me walk you through and help you design an email marketing campaign, or maybe let me help you craft a reignition campaign, from the offer and the follow-up sequence to giving the opportunity to drive people to respond and purchase your product. A great way to start 2021 is to craft an email reignition campaign. So all my copywriters out there who are watching this video or who are here live stream, go and help somebody with the 4 email sequence that I taught you yesterday or the day before, and help them craft a campaign, right? Now, I said craft it, not send it, right? Because most people don't have automation. Most people don't have autoresponders. So your opportunity is to set the campaign up and run it for them, right? So that's another thing that you could do. So you can do, let me offer you, I'm trying to help a couple of people craft an email campaign to reignite revenue for 2021. Are you interested? I'm happy to share this. I normally get paid a lot of money to do this. I want to help 2 people out before the end of the year. Are you interested? Yes or no? That's your offer, right? You might do a sales automation blueprint. Hey, one of the biggest things we know right now, it's really important to make sure that you capture and engage every single sales opportunity. And what happens is a lot of businesses have sales fall through the cracks. And I know a very simple way so that you never lose a sales opportunity and you can track every revenue opportunity in your business. So what I'm doing is I'm helping 2 businesses devise or blueprint, map out a sales automation blueprint. From the time that the lead is captured to what happens in managing that lead from information to what happens to follow up, how you allocate that person to an appointment. Love to be able to map that out for you. Would you like to see how that works? This would be a great way to perhaps do something that's missing in your business. And I'm more than happy to share that at my time, my cost. 2 people, that's what the offer is. So if you're in the sales process business or the sales automation business, that's an offer. Love to do a map, a framework map for you, right? Let me help you, right? By the way, this what I'm sharing with you leads to paid engagement, paid sale. I'll explain what happens in just a moment, right? So maybe you'd like to offer, hey, I'd love to do a landing page mock-up that converts on mobile. Most people are running ads to landing pages that aren't converting or aren't working on mobile. I'd love to do a mobile landing page mock-up for you. Or I'd like to do an ad campaign landing page mock-up for you. The landing page needs to do 1 of 4 things. Either get somebody to pick up the phone and call you, either get somebody to actually fill in some information so that you can actually help them with their inquiry, or to ask them to purchase something, or ask them to download something. These are the 4 actions that generate or work towards generating a sale. I want to do a mock-up, or I want to work a framework and a mock-up so that you can launch an effective converting campaign. Are you interested in me helping you give you that mock-up? I'm just helping 2 people. If you're interested, let me spend some time. Let's do a mock-up and a framework so you'll have at least something to go out to the market with directly and generate converted sales opportunities. Are you interested? That's another offer that you can put out in the marketplace, right? What about a branding and digital footprint assessment? What about looking at an assessment, say, hey, one of the biggest things right now is you need to be where your customers are. How are you engaging your customers on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube? What does your brand look like? Where's your presence? What's your rankings look like? I'd love to be able to do a quick assessment just to see perhaps some of the things that maybe need to be addressed, some consistency in how you put your message and your offer out there in the market. So can we do a quick branding blueprint on a digital footprint on your business? I'm offering this to 2 people. Normally we spend our time, energy doing the research. I'd love to be able to share this with you. This is a great way to get you focused on what you need to do from your marketing online perspective. There's a campaign. I'm literally scripting out your offers here. I'm giving you a whole bunch of offers that you can send out to the market, and I'm scripting them out for you. So you can go back and listen to this recording and literally rip these offers and go straight out to the market and make these offers, right? The typical SEO audit, the Facebook audit, the AdWords audit, say, hey, wouldn't you like to kick off 2021 with a successfully converting optimized ad campaign? Right now, we know that 70% of most ad campaigns are unoptimized. They're not optimized properly. And the reason why I know that is if you haven't changed your marketing in a little bit, like less than a month or so, Facebook has changed the game. AdWords has changed the game. There's different things you can do right now to make sure you maximize conversions, make sure you minimize the ad spend. And we know that if we can take people through a very simple filter or an audit, we can see by making really small adjustments, you can have a really big impact on your leads. So are you interested in an SEO audit or an ad audit for Facebook, AdWords, Instagram, LinkedIn? right? Offer the ad audit. I want to help people. I'm doing a proper ad audit because most people don't realize how much money they're wasting. And by actually doing one of these, this will give you a lot more clarity as to making sure that when you're investing dollars in advertising, that you actually get a positive return. And that's what it's all about. I want to help 2 people with a key audit. So you can offer, there's a script that you can use to send out to say, are you interested in this idea? The idea is that we're going to help a couple of people, and I'm giving you all the different things that you can do to help people. My favorite one is the website audit. Hey, most websites are wrong, and here's where number one, where a lot of websites are wrong. Number one, a lot of businesses are not telling people how they're keeping their customers safe through the pandemic, right? A lot of businesses don't have their policies of how they look after customers to keep them safe, manage social distancing, provide the protection, all that sort of stuff. They don't have that on their website, right? They should be putting compliances or health compliances on their website. A lot of websites don't have this. The other thing where a lot of websites are struggling right now is they're not mobilized properly. So mobile or websites from a mobile perspective, the navigation is wrong. Responsive websites aren't actually working because if you have to scroll and pinch and to try and find a phone number or try and find a form that you've got to fill in, then the person is going to get tired super quick and move on to the next website straight away, right? Through that process, yeah. So website audits, really powerful. Now, if you're going to do a website audit, don't do a long one. And by the way, you are not sending this out for free. You're asking them, right? You're going to help a couple and say, listen, I'm looking at people's sites. Most people's sites aren't doing very well. They're not fine. They can't find them online effectively. Broken links. Wrong message, don't have a clear, compelling offer. The navigation of the site perhaps isn't working effectively to help people through the process of purchasing. The contact us page is not engaging, all those sorts of things. Little things. What you want to do is zero in on your audit to one big thing and then allude to a couple of smaller things and say, hey, if you're interested, I can fix this, right? So you can do a website audit as part of this process, right? So I'm going to walk you through with this strategy. The goal here is to help somebody. That's all it is. I want to help you, and here's how I'm going to help you. This is the give, right? This is the give, okay, that you're offering, right? So as you're walking through this process, this is enabling you to get very clear about what you do, right? Very clear in the conversation you're having, and you're focused on helping a client with the outcome. Now, at the end of this help, whatever this help is, you're going to ask a really simple question. Hey, this is all cool. How's it been for you? What did you like about this, right? What did you like about this? If you were to fix this or get this done, is this something you need to get done now? Or is this something you want to put off for later, right? You can ask that question, right? The next question is, do you think you can get your team to do this internally, right? Or, right, is this something, right, that you would like us to help you with? Would you like me to implement the email marketing campaign, set up the automations, fire it off, manage the campaign for you? Would you like us to reconfigure your ad campaign optimization for your Facebook or for your AdWords or for your Instagram or for your LinkedIn, right? Would you like us to implement the ad that we put up and actually launch the ad for you, right? These are the things you're asking. Hey, you could do this yourself. What did you think about it? Do you think it was cool? What did you think of the process of developing your sales process blueprint? What did you think about that? Right now, you don't have this, right? But if you were to have that, what impact do you think it's going to make? Wow, this is so much better. Our leads are going to be managed in real time. People will actually be able to track this more effectively. We can allocate leads to salespeople. We can actually see the productivity and effectiveness, and we can actually see the forecasting. So when would be a good time to put that in place? Now, or is that something you want to do later? Right? Will this have an impact on now? Well, this will have an impact straight away. Great. So are you going to implement it, or would you like me to help you? That's the offer, right? Would you like me to help you, right? And you want to do a deal for them. You want to offer a deal in this process, right? So let me go through and I'm just going to kind of walk you through some steps here, right? So part one is we want to make two lists, right? Now, remember I talked about who you want to target, the people you want to speak to. The first place that I would go is ask people in my network or in my familiar network, does anybody know somebody in this business who runs this type of business, right? Does anybody know somebody? So we're asking for referral. Hey, does anybody know somebody who runs this type of business? Can you introduce me to them so you can make this offer, right? So that's number one. Number one, you can offer this to your familiar list, to your current contacts. You can do that right now as a direct offer to the market. If you've got a list, you can make this offer, right? I want to help a couple of people. This is what I'm doing the next couple of days. If you're interested, just let me know, right? You're going to send out 2 messages. One, first message for the introduction. Number 2, ask them, hey, look, I reached out to you, haven't heard back from you. Are you interested in this? Just let me know yes or no, right? So you're going to do 2 messages here, right? You can do this in a Facebook post. You can do this on a text message. You can do this in a email. You can do this on LinkedIn, right, to your connections, right? It doesn't matter how you reach out to people. It's the same message that you're sending out. And if you've been watching this for the last 10 minutes, I've literally walked you through and scripted out about 7 campaigns, 7 scripted messages that you can send out to people for the different things that I said that you can offer for the help as part of the strategy. Remember, the goal is to get to your next paying customer. That's the goal, just one, right? That's what we're trying to get to as quickly as possible in this process. So part 1 of the strategy is make a list. Make a list of 2 lists. One list is your familiar list. Who can you ask, right? The second list is a curated list, and I'll explain what the curated list is in a moment, because we're not going to go and get thousands of people or hundreds of people. We're only going to get 25 people, 25. Not a lot, right? You want to craft an email, or you can use as a message, and I love this service, is Loom. If you go to Loom, or just go Loom Video, Google that. It's free, right? What it allows you to do, you can either do a screen share or you can do straight to camera, and you can make a very quick video. And you can ask the question, say, hey, I made this short video for you. I've got an important question for you. And then you can make your offer in the video. The video can be, doing a video offer can be very compelling because they're seeing you live. It's really simple to do. So Loom is a really cool service because it'll actually imprint the image. If you use the link in a social media post or Facebook post when you send it to somebody, it'll actually put your picture, your image in the link. So you'll actually see that it's a video and people will click on your message, right? People respond because it's going to be a little bit different. So I would recommend, I would love a Loom video. All you're asking for, the call to action is, I would like you to just say yes, right? I'd like you to say yes or tell me no. Tell me yes or tell me no. And at the end of this, just remember, I'm only going to do this for a couple of people. So if it's a yes for you, like I said, it's free. I'm just trying to help people get things going for 2021. If you're interested, right, just say yes, but please tell me no if it's a no for you. Please tell me no, right? Generally, most people go, oh, no, yes. Because it's a weird thing to ask or say to people that you want them to say no to you, right? It's just a weird thing, right? So just tell me yes, or please, just so I know that you've got this message, tell me no, right? Yes or no. Please tell me no. My feelings won't be hurt, right? I'm just trying to help some people get some really good value, get some real focus, and get some things happening for the new year, for 2021. That's the premise of this offer, right? You also want to make sure that that second message, hey, I didn't hear back from you. If you like, you can do the video message. Hey, by the way, I sent that to you yesterday. Don't know if you actually got it or you saw the video. You will see if they've watched your video, you will see the video, right? That they've watched the video on Loom. So I'm not sure if you got it. Just need to know yes or no. I've got a handful of people who are really interested. If you are interested in this and reiterate the offer in the second message or the email or the text or the Facebook post or the video, I would prefer the video because it's a little bit more personal, right? Just say, hey, I'm just looking for a yes. I'd really like to take advantage of this, or no, I'm not interested. And please tell me no, I won't be offended. I just need to know that you got this message, right? So some people might say no, but I'll guarantee you, some people, because of that, it's like a double take. They'll relook at the message and go, oh yeah, no, I'll take that, right? So 2 messages, that's all we're doing in this process, right? So what we want to do, if you get a yes, right? If you get a yes and a response to the people you're sending this out to, you want to make a time within the next 48 hours. Say, hey, so when they say yes, go back to them and give them direct links. Now, I like to use Calendly because it's really easy. And in Calendly, you can say available at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and you can give 3 times, and you don't have to paste the Calendly link. You paste the link, the time, so they can pick the times directly rather than actually picking, like actually hitting a link, right? If you want to use a link, you can use a link, but you can say, hey, I've got this time available and this time available. Allow them to choose up from 2 options, right? 2 options, and say, look, if these 2 times don't work, then here's my calendar link. It'll open up a few more times for you. Do it that way, right? So now, when they say yes, here's what you got to do, right? You got to do your homework. You got to prepare what you're going to do. So do a little bit of research on them, right? Because at the end of the session, right, at the end of this process of doing whatever you're doing, if you're going to map out a blueprint or sales blueprint, have in your mind, okay, what questions we're going to ask to map this out for them, right? If you're going to do an ad campaign, come up with a few ideas. Go to Groupon, go to Mailer Value, go to Sherpa, find campaigns that are already successfully tested and working, and come to them with ideas for a campaign, for the ad campaign, right? Then you can ask them questions, right? What's the best offer you think that you can make to the marketplace, right? Why is this a great offer? Who would this offer really work for? Ask the questions, craft the campaign, get the creative together, right? Let's do some copy, a little bit of messaging, map this out. So you need to prepare for this. Now, the cool thing about this is this will help you to set up a system for the future in how you help clients. It's really easy to do it. You want to do it in real time, a little bit of preparation. So, hey, this is what I need to do to get this done, right? The process. Now, think about it. Think about it that marketingsherpa.com is what I said, Amy. Case study ideas, offers, all that sort of stuff. Groupon is a great place to find great offers. Google best offers for whatever industry. You can find 4 or 5 offers. You can use that sort of stuff, right? So you want to prepare. You want to prepare. How am I going to map out this process? How am I going to optimize their ad campaign? How am I going to optimize their, or tweak in their Facebook ad account or their Google ad account? How am I going to do that? What are you looking for, right? What are the common things that need to be done in an audit, right? Digital blueprint. You want to do a little bit of homework on them, the competition, what their SEO rankings are, where, how easy is it to find them. You want to come to them with a little bit of knowledge and understanding, so they go, oh wow, you've really thought about this process, right? Because the idea is to help them to get to the end result, and the end result is to implement what it is that you're offering with help, right? So you can say, hey, you got it. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to put it on a shelf, or would you like to do something with it? Now you can do something with it, or I can help you. And that's the thing, right? So the question, and this is what happens. So when you get to the session, at the end of your session, with whatever you're offering to help people with and the help, you can ask this question and say, hey, is this something you'd launch right now? Because obviously, 4 days time, we're in a new year, right? Do you want to do this yourself? Or would you like me or my team to set this up for you, right? If you'd like me or my team to set this up for you, then what you can do is you can offer a deal and an incentivized price, right? You want to offer a deal or an incentivized price on this deal, right? And the next step is you get paid. So great, let's do this. Let's do the deal. What's your credit card? Invoice immediately. Use PayPal invoice if you don't have it all set up for you. It's very easy to set an invoice very quickly. Get the credit card details, get paid, and then get started on the project, right? Know what you've got to do to get this thing launched in the time frame that you have suggested that you would launch or create or do for the client. So this is the methodology. This is the process that you can use to go and get a paying customer pretty quickly. But the piece here is the give, is the help, right? The reason for the help, the relevancy of the help, the impact of what the help will do if they implement your strategy, right? That's what you want to do here, yeah? So that's the idea, and that's the concept as part of this process. What I would suggest that you do if you want to build a list. So I generally do a spreadsheet, right? And what I might do is I'll post one of my spreadsheets in the Consulting Unleashed Facebook group, so you'll be able to get an access to it. But what it does is just pretty much, I'm looking for 25 contacts, right? So for fast access to the marketplace, I want to go and look at associations, right? Let's say I want to attack plumbers, right? Well, look at the Plumbers Association, right? How many plumbers associations are they? Is there a national body, an international body, a state chapter, a city body, right? It breaks down, right? I'm looking for people that I want to work with. I would generally target businesses in your local area. I would generally target businesses that are local to you, right? I wouldn't be going out to the wider market, because we're trying to get somebody close and fast, right? And I guarantee you there's businesses where you are that you can help, right? So you generally want to target people. I want a list of industry associations, the first thing I want to do. Second thing is I want to research current media and industry reporting. There's lots of reporting on industries, right? What's happening? Where are things going? So you understand who's growing, who's working, what's going on. Are there mentions of types of businesses in those reports, in the industry media, right? Who is the industry talking about, right, in the market? I want to make a list of influencers in the market, authors, experts, consultants, iconic CEOs in the industry, people that are recognized. You'll generally find these in association websites. Leaders, speakers, people who know people in this market, right? That's what I'm looking for. I want to grab a couple of those people, right? I want to identify 25 companies, right? So I want to identify 20 of the, maybe 5 to 10 of the top companies, and maybe 5 to 10 of the medium companies, and then the top of the lower end and the bottom of the middle end. So companies that are in that 2 million, 3 million plus, in that range. You can actually identify companies like that, and you want to build that list. Now, let me explain a little bit about getting this curated list together, right? So because the reason why I'm choosing these people or recommending you engage with these types of people is because they already know, right, about the industry. They already know who you should be talking to, who needs help with your services, if you get to know them. And also some of them could become your clients. And that's what I'd recommend you do, because you can get referrals from people who have influence within a market. So you want to get your curated list together. So I want to, first of all, in my list is, do you know someone? I would ask friends. Do you know somebody, a CEO of a company like this that has maybe 20, 30 employees, right, in this industry? That's my first place to look, is do you know somebody? Always look to your social networks, your connections. That's number one. Do you know somebody? Can you intro me, right? Number two, Google is your friend, right? Associations, top 100 companies, award winners, industry award winners, right? Top 10, top 20, 20 award winners, right? Because award winners are companies that are investing in marketing. That's why they're award winners, because they're growing, they're progressive, they're good at what they do, right? So I'm looking for award winners. I'm looking for the top 100 lists. You can look in the city. I love Google Maps, because Google Maps is showing you exact location, websites, when they're open, right? You can get information from Google Maps. Also, who are advertising. So pick a keyword that is relevant to your market, and who's running ads. Click on those companies, or don't click on the ads. Copy and paste the URL, right? Don't click the ad on, because you cost them money when you click the ad. I don't like to cost people money when I'm clicking the ad, but I'll find out who's running the ad, and I'll go and check out the landing page, right? So anybody running advertising is an ideal prospective customer, right? So anybody advertising on Google, anybody doing banner ads, anybody doing those sorts of things, you want to highlight if that's a company you want to reach. Remember, we're only looking for 25. Now, in that other lists that I like are the Inc. 5000 lists. So Inc. 5000 USA, fastest growing companies, 2020, right, this year. I would also look at 220 and 219 and 218, because that will give you a spread of companies. It's a very searchable list. You can actually search by how much revenue they make. You can search by industry. You can search by product category. So it's a searchable list. They have an American list and they have a European list. It also allows you to break down into locations. You can say, does anybody in my city hit the Inc. 5000 fastest growing list, right? So it goes by location, city, state. You can actually do that search in the actual list, right, of the Inc. 5000 list. Europe and America, there's two lists. That's over 10,000 companies. I know you could probably find a handful of companies you can engage out of 10,000 companies in multiple niches that are the fastest growing in a market. Because my question is who isn't on the list? Who's their competition? that doubles the size of the list, right? So that's, and they're very easy to find, very easy to find once you know, right? So I also would recommend aggregator websites. So aggregator websites are things like houzz.com if you're looking contractor design, anything to do with homes and interiors, HOUZZ.com, right? By the way, that's a global directory, and companies will spend up to 30 grand a year or more advertising in that directory, right? They're already spending money, so they're identifying themselves as a prospective customer. Aggregator websites are good. Home Advisor if you're in the contractor market. I like Yelp. Yelp is a great resource for going to the market as well, right? There's plenty of directories and all those sorts of things that you can use, but these are some of the areas that I would look for. And if you can't find 25 companies out of the 6 places that I told you to look, then you're not looking, right? But it'll be easy. Now, what do I need to know about these companies? That's the thing that I want to look at. So what I tend to look at, so if I'm just going to list this out for you, things that I want, right? Naturally, I want the company's name, the owner's name, owner, founder, or CEO. Now, some people ask me, John, how do I find out who owns the company? That's a common question that I ask. Now, you can look in directories. You can actually ask, you can find out who owns a company by doing a Google search, right? Sometimes on a website, they'll tell you who the founder of the company is or the owner of the company is on the website. Sometimes you can go and look in LinkedIn and type in company and see if you've got a LinkedIn profile, find out who the CEO of the company is on LinkedIn, right? Now, failing all of these soft, easy, searchable things you do is if you know the name of the company, it's not hard to find the phone number for the company, right? Call the company and say, hey, I'm just making sure that I've got my records straight. I've got Jerry Smith as the CEO of ABC Company. Is that right? Or is it someone else, right? And they go, no, it's Stephen Whiting. Great, Stephen Whiting. Is that W-H-I-T-I-N-G or just W-I-T-I-N-G? That's W-I-T-I-N-G. Oh, great. So his email would be steve@ABC Company, or is it steve.s@ABC Company? No, it's steve at. Thanks. Appreciate you letting me know. I've got my records straight. I appreciate that. Thanks. Goodbye. So I could do that 25 times and get the company's name and company owner, founder's name and their email address. Now I've got a contact point. So company name, owner or founder's name, easily found, search online, pick up the phone and say, hey, I just want to spell the guy's name or the woman's name correctly or the person's name correctly. Is this the person's name? They go, no, you got it wrong. Oh, sorry. We need to update our records, right? Find out the name, right? And the email. So is that ABC at or john@abc.com? No, our protocol is, or, if they say, oh, we don't really give that information out, just say, oh, well, can I send you an email? What's the best email to send to you? And they'll give you their name. Generally, if they give you their name, it'll give you the protocol of how the email works, and you'll be able to email the founder of the company. So that's another sneaky way of getting the email, right? Website, you want to have a connection to the website. Phone number, either personal cell phone number or company phone number, right? Facebook page, do they have a Facebook page, a company Facebook page? Do they have a Facebook page personally, right? Can you connect, right? LinkedIn, right, is the next one. Are they linked in? So imagine a spreadsheet and just putting a list, 25, right? Now, if I was a busy person, and I believe that I am a busy person, right? And I'm, 25 people and all this information, John, right? Phone number, Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Are they running Facebook ads? Are they running any other types of advertising that I can find, right? Are they award winners? Like you can literally list out, right? We're just doing 25. It's one spreadsheet. Just do 5 a day, right? So, okay, at the end of the day, I'm going to do 5. It might take you half an hour. It might take you an hour, right, to get all the information that you need to be able to connect and engage with this person from this company. Remember, we just need 25 of them, right? Not 100, just 25. Now, if you're smart, then you can hire somebody to do all this for you. They might charge you $50 or $100 to get all these names and fill out a spreadsheet with all the details, the information for you, and have that done for you in a couple of days' time. Or they could do this in one day. In fact, I know if I really focused on this, I'd probably get it done in about 3 or 4 hours. Right? If 3-4 solid hours, I could probably get this done if I focused on it. And I just bang it out. Right? So 25, now you have 25 names. Now you have 25 companies. Now you have people that you want to reach out to. And so you want to go through the process that I've spoken to you about already in going out and engaging these people in the marketplace. So it's a pretty simple process that I've shared. If you follow what I've given you 7, actually I've given you about 9 email or message scripts or video scripts that you can use to go out to. I've given you, how many offers did I give you? I've given you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 offers, 8 different offers that you can provide from marketing service to the marketplace, right? 8 different offers you can send out to offer for help in the market. So I've kind of given you all the tools that you need, including the scripting. I guess the part that you have to do to fill in the blanks is what it is that you deliver and how do you get a result for people. And more importantly, how are you going to help them with this thing, this offer of a help that you want? Remember, your goal is to get one client, not 10 clients, just your next client. If you follow the process and the steps, if you do what I've asked you to do here, you'll be able to get these types of results. So with that, I'm going to open up to questions. Now, for some reason, my Facebook comments are not working again, and I don't know why this isn't working, but it's really annoying. But I'm hoping that this will be fixed in the next few days. So for those of you here with me on the Zoom link, let me help you answer some of those questions. If you have questions, just type them in the chat and I'll be able to answer your questions about this strategy. If you want me to clarify an offer, I'm happy to clarify an offer for you. We are recording this. We are live as part of this process. So if you want me to fine tune this process for you, then I'm more than happy to do that. If you want me to do that. Let's open up to questions. The first person that types in the chat or wants to share what they want to share, let me just go and do this so I know where I am. There's a whole bunch of people jumping in the chats here. Okay, so any leads. UpLeads has revenue target options. Apollo.io is a great source for finding info also. Yes. Russell, if I'm in a really small area, what size cities are ideal to target for Google My Business services? Any city that has 100,000 plus, 200,000 plus, which accounts for more than 1,000 cities in the United States. But start with it, like so to answer your question, Russell, the biggest city closest to you, right? It could be 50 miles away, it could be 100 miles away, but what's the biggest city that's got a sizable population of between 250,000 plus people, right? 250,000 plus people, Google My Business works really well in local markets for several categories. How long of a Loom video should we record? Well, if you watch this video and look at my messages, it might be 30 seconds. Right, your video message might be 30 seconds or 40 seconds. If it's a short video message, the shorter the better, right? The less they have to consume, the easier it is. Don't give them too much information. You don't want to go rambling on for 7 or 8 minutes. Keep your video to about a minute. By the way, in 1 minute, you can speak over 400 words. My messages are less than 20, 30 words, right? So in 1 minute, you can speak 400 words. Can you review the basis of the Give Help Outreach message again? Love the digital footprint branding framework. James, watch the video. There's like 7 strategies I've given here. All you need to do is go back and watch the offers. They're all here for you. You can go back into the live and you can just go and trace along and go, wow, there's 7 offers or 9 offers that John made and the scripts. So, digital footprint is something. So one of the reasons why I like the idea of the digital footprint audit is because there's this software and it's called Noam.com. I'm just going to share my my iPad here. You should be able to see my iPad on the screen. So there's this website. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see my iPad. Okay, cool. All right, you got my iPad. So there's this website and it's called Noam, right? And what Knowem.com does is it actually, if you put a URL, a company URL, it'll tell you all the apps and social media websites that you have a listing in, right? And a lot of companies have a lot of, they have personal listings, but they don't have company listings. Some companies don't have a LinkedIn page, right? Some companies don't have a Facebook page. Some companies don't have a Twitter handle, right? But if you go to Knowem.com, sorry, that's with a W in there, Knowem, let me spell that correctly, Knowem.com, what it does is you can actually search and see how many sites or how many directories that a business is on. Now, here's the cool thing about Knowem. I think they started a fee for 25 sites, it's like $69. What it allows you to do is to create. So one of the things with branding or with messaging, you want to have the same message right across multiple platforms. I'm just going to rewrite this because it seems to have confused a few people. So it's Knowem.com, Knowem.com, right? Knowem.com, yeah. So what it allows you to do is for $69, you can actually put your images, branding, a video, the same message, the same description. You want consistency, you can put an offer in there, and then what you can do is you can hit submit and it'll post and set up accounts in all those areas, and so that your branding is uniform right across multiple platforms. From an SEO point of view, this is a huge SEO bump and boost, because most of the sites, most of the social sites have large SEO capabilities. So the backlink of having your link on each of those sites is going to be helpful from an SEO point of view. So digital footprint, one, from a social perspective, this is a great way to show people what's missing, right? And you can fix it for them, right? The second thing that you want to be looking at is from an SEO point of view, how easy are they to be able to found, and say, let's pick out what the top 20 keywords are and just check, right, where they sit in rankings, right? Because if you're not visible, if I can't find you through search, then you don't exist, right? So you can do a search. You can check out and do digital footprint from an advertising perspective, right? These are all the things that you want to do. But no, I think Knowem.com is one great thing. One thing I will share with you, and I'll answer some questions here as we go along, because I know a few people have got a few questions that they're asking here in the chats. Great site, yep, Knowem.com, that's exactly right. Okay, so one thing I will share with you is a lot of people say, look, you know, I send messages out and people don't respond and do that sort of thing, right? So let's look at the prospect, right? Okay, so this is who you're trying to reach. Now, I could send one email, right? Now, people are busy. They don't read their emails. My email could be lost unless I've got a really compelling subject line that gets them to open the email. The likelihood of a direct engagement is chance, right? It's going to be a chance thing, yeah? But I've got one email, right? Okay, so remember, if we're building the list and the aggregator list, I want to do the same message in LinkedIn, right? So now, same message, same offer, no different, but now I can do that in LinkedIn, right? Now, if I've got them on Facebook, right? If I've friended them on Facebook, right? Then I can send a message in Messenger, right? I can send a message, yeah? Now, if I've got their cell phone number, I can send a text, right? I can send a video message. Right? I can see them on Twitter, do a direct message. I can, if they've got an Instagram account, on direct message, right? So if I just do one email, right, the likelihood of that person seeing that information or that email is negligible, right? But if I send the same message to multiple platforms, right? If I send the same message and they just see my name or see my subject line and they see it more than once, the likelihood that they'll open is much greater. In fact, they may open your message 2 or 3 times, right? So what most people do is they'll do one thing, they'll do cold email. There's this thing like people are really wrapped up on the whole cold email thing, right? But if I've got this list of 25 and I'm trying to build a relationship, I'm trying to generate a client, I can use this strategy of the help, right, to go to that client, right, by hitting them with multiple messages in multiple categories. So there's a few people that are asking some questions here. Denise, is there a site to check phone numbers to see if it's a cell phone or a landline? Google it, Denise. I'm sure there is. Rajesh, do you suggest that we do multiple platforms on our cold reach? Absolutely, Rajesh. This strategy is the idea. If you look at the strategy, we're connecting with multiple connections, right, in the marketplace, right? Omnipresence, absolutely, Denise. This is called omnipresence, right? You're actually being visible and seen by everybody. One of the things that I used to do back in the day when we used to mix this up, and actually there would be one other thing that we would do here, and we would do direct mail. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't get a lot of mail these days, right? I don't get a lot of mail. Cold text message. Hey, if you're connected, you can say, hey, look, we're connected. I'm just sending this message to you just to make sure you got it. That's how I would do it, Howard. Like, we're connected on Facebook or connected on Twitter. I just want to make sure that you got this message so you didn't miss it. And so I thought I'd text it to you. That's how you do a cold text, right? But direct mail as a strategy is very powerful, right? A lot of people don't do that. If you're going to do direct mail, use colored envelopes, right? Generally, invitations come in colored envelopes. Don't use a white envelope. A white envelope denotes a bill, right? Nobody likes bills. But if you have a colored envelope, your white envelope stands out in a crowd of other envelopes and other promotions. So if you use yellow envelopes or pink envelopes or red envelopes, right, these envelopes get opened, right? What you want people to do is open your direct mail, right? Now, if you are going to do direct mail, right, if we use direct mail as a strategy, what you want to do is you want to follow it up with a phone call. But here's what some people do. They get really lazy. They get very tricky. Now, if it's 25 people that you're mailing, that's not a very expensive exercise, right? But what they'll do is they'll do 4 mailers, right? And the call to action, you know, is give me a call, right? Or go to this landing page. Right? Send them somewhere, watch this video, do something like that. You can do that, right? Direct mail is very powerful, but if I'm going to direct mail, it's expensive. And what you want to do is you always want to follow direct mail up. Don't leave direct mail. Yes, Amy, you want to be mindful with text, but if you've got a connection in more than one connection in other parts, and you happen to have their number and say, you can just say, hey, look, I just want to touch base. We're connected, but I've been trying to get this message to you, and I just thought I'd quickly send it to you here, and maybe send the video link on the text. I don't think you're going to get into too much trouble. And it's not like you're going to be banging text messages all the time. So any questions? Happy to answer any questions. Who thinks, I'd love to know what you think about this idea. Takeaway, any takeaways you've had from what I've shared in this training. Yeah, if you've got a question, please unmute. I'm happy to answer the questions. Remember, the goal is get to your next client. And what I've done is I've literally just mapped out for you exactly what you could do to go and get a paying customer easily. This is one of the easiest strategies off the mark to get paying customers. Offer a help, something that's valuable, something that's relevant. And the next question is, like, what do you think? Do you think we should run it? If you'd like to, would you like us to run it? I'll tell you what, because you've been kind enough, I'd love to do you a deal. Normally we charge this, we're going to do this, we're offering you this, would you like to go ahead? Really simple sales pitch, right? You don't even have to, it's probably the easiest sales pitch on the planet to make, right? But I'll guarantee you that if you do this, if you share this with enough people, you'll get a few people put up their hand saying, yeah, I'm interested. And if you did this with 3 people, one of them will buy. One of them will buy. I'll guarantee you'll get a sale, right? If you do this right.
John?
James says, genius stuff, out of the box thinking. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Somebody was just saying something there. Happy to answer a question. Who was that?
John,
Hang on, mate.
This is Rajesh.
Hey, Rajesh, how you doing?
Good. So I'm not more into any traditional form of marketing, basically ads or anything like that. I'm more into the mobile marketing stuff.
Great. Let's do a mobile. If you're going to do mobile apps, or if you're talking about applications or developing applications, just say, hey,
yes.
I'd love to show you what a mobile app would do for your business. I'm helping 2 businesses map out a mobile app for their business. So things that you can do with a mobile app: push notifications, client engagement, relevant information, live streaming. This will be a very powerful marketing channel or business channel for your business. So I'm helping a couple of people map out what a mobile app would look like and how that would help their business. Are you interested in the blueprint or the map? Yes or no?
So how do we tie up the revenues to the mobile app?
You don't have to. This is not what this is about. What you're offering is a strategy to say, hey, right now you want businesses in the palm of your hand. You want your customers to have your brand, have the ability to connect with you directly in the palm of their hand. If you gave them, every client and every prospect, the access to that, what do you think would happen? Would you make more sales? Yes or no?
Okay.
Don't worry about the dollar value. We can't, like, now we're getting into advanced strategy, Rajesh. All this strategy we've got here is go and offer a help, right? Go and offer a help. Yeah. Somebody's going to say, yeah, I'd love to know what a mobile app would look like for our business, right? Well, great. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the first processes we'll do a simple map app. Now, keep it simple. You don't need to go over the top, right? Just keep it simple and think about maybe some applications or maybe some components or features that would be relevant to them, that would be helpful for them, right? And you can make a list, right? And you say, great, look, if you like, if you want to use this as a marketing strategy or use this as a launching tool, this is a great way to launch a new offer in the market. Say, hey guys, we've got a new app that's got anybody that downloads the app is going to get a great VIP incentive or offer, right? If you download this app now, send that out to your clients. People will download that app on their mobile phone, take advantage of the offer, right? So okay. It's a really fun, it's also a strategy that you can use to activate or initiate sales with. But okay. You don't need to think about this part, Rajesh. What you need to think about is, hey, we know what the benefits of a mobile app are, right? And most people find it challenging to understand how that works, right? So what I'm offering is to help people to map out what a mobile app looks like. And it's a really cool strategy that puts your business in the palm of your customer's hand, so your brand is in their phone, so that if they buy or look for your product or service, they always have a place to go. You make it easy for customers to choose you first. Are you interested in having a look at what the framework of that looks like for you? Yes or no? There's your offer. I've even crafted your pitch for you right there, Rajesh.
Yeah. Right? So my clarity was something I'm missing is do we need to bundle up different things like a landing page website and then a mobile app and a lead management and mobile app?
No, Rajesh, you're showing people how it works, right? You're showing people how it can work for them. You're personalizing it by showing people how it can work for them. If they like the idea, then you can talk about landing page and mobile, and you can talk about all the features and things you can do that. It leads to the engagement, right? Hey, what do you think about this process? Do you like the idea of getting an app together? Yep. Yeah. Do you want to know how much it costs normally to get an app? And you say, well, for us to develop an app, normally we pay X amount of dollars. But look, because you're giving us a time, and because it's the time of year and we're hitting the new year, I would love to do this for you, and we'll give you a great deal. Here's the price. There's your offer, right? Whatever you do, Rajesh, to package that up, that's your business, right? Whatever you want to do, you do what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm not your business, right? I know what I would do. But But you're the expert here, not me. I'm not the expert in mobile apps, in development of mobile apps. You are. You're the expert. That's why they're going to hire you. They're not going to be able to develop a mobile app, but you will, right? So what you're doing, all you're offering is, hey, have you considered a mobile app? Here are the benefits of a mobile app. What I'm doing is I'm offering a couple of people to do a mock or show exactly what that looks for you. Would you love to see one of the most proactive strategies you have right now that you can launch into the new year and engage your customers in real time in the palm of their hands? Is that something that would be cool? Yes or no? Let me know yes or no. And you can say, hey, I didn't hear back from you. All I need is a yes or a no if you're interested in doing this. I only want to offer this to a couple of people because it takes a little bit of time, but I'd love to be able to share. If you think this is an opportune thing or an idea that you'd like to explore, I'm happy to give this thing that we normally charge our clients for, right, for free. Just give me a definitive yes or no. There it is. There's your campaign. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? If anybody else wants me to craft a campaign for you right now, here in real time, either unmute, say me, tell me who the market is, tell me what you want to offer, and I'll craft the campaign for you right here. Personalize it. Can't do any better than that, right? The people who ask and the people who engage are the ones that make the most money. How's that? So I'll just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. For roofers, John Warburton for roofers. All of a sudden we're moving away from musicians, real estates, and we want to work with roofers. So my big question to you, John, is why roofers, mate? Why? Why do you want to help these guys? And my question to you is, what is it that you want to offer them? So if you can answer those two questions for me, I'll be able to craft the campaign that you will send to the offer. Chris says HVAC, AdWords, lead gen. All right. So, mate, Chris, if you looked at all the 7 things, right? Sent that to Russell, only my mistake. So if we're doing HVAC, okay, HVAC companies, that, you know, the average sale is fairly high. If we were picking, like you're doing AdWords, for me, I'd be offering an AdWords audit. I'd be sitting and saying, hey, 2021's here. The number one thing that every HVAC company needs to do right now is to be visible to people who are looking to buy and invest in their services. So what we're doing right now, we're just doing this to 2 companies. We're actually doing an optimization, an assessment of current ad campaigns going to the market. We would like to do this for 2 people. If you want to be one of those 2 people, this is a great way to make sure that you're making sure you're saving your money on your advertising campaign. You're getting better cost per acquisition. You're getting a better lead flow and a deal flow. And more importantly, you're actually going to get more visibility on your campaigns. If you want those 3 things, then we'd like to do this thing for you at no charge. You get to decide yes or no. There's your offer. Chris? So Andy says lead management for pro sports teams. So when you say pro sports teams, Andy, are we talking about the LA Lakers, the Utah Jazz, the Mighty Penguins, the Avalanches? Are we talking those types of sports teams, those companies, right? Oh, so when you say pro sports teams, what do you mean by pro sports teams, Andy? I'm literally giving you a strategy to go after them today. So my thing is you're going to sit in the office of the LA Lakers talking about this strategy to them. Is that a professional sports team? I don't understand. I'm trying to understand what pro sports teams you're offering this to. Minor leagues, who you're offering this to? So if you can tell me who you're offering this to, Andy, and what you're offering, then I'll craft the message for you to go after that market. Happy. I mean, all sports teams need help. By the way, I know a lot of sports teams need lots of help, especially if they're selling corporate tickets this year. 2021 is going to be an interesting year for pro sports. So pro sports have got lots and lots of money to spend on marketing. So Andy, if you are asked after pro sports team, tell me what type of pro sports teams they are. Tell me what is the offer that you want to make, and I will craft an offer for you here right now that you need to go and engage with in the market. Got a few business owners interested in improving their communication online, so I can offer a digital engagement blueprint. Your thoughts? Mark, my answer is yes. Absolutely. My answer would be yes. That would be my answer, right? I would absolutely say yes. So if you've already got a few people in the market, remember the goal is to get to the next paying customer. So, hey, let's go and look at a footprint, yeah? English footy soccer teams. Okay, so Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4. There are 4 divisions. There's actually more than 4 divisions, but I think the 4 divisions are the ones that actually make money, Andy, right? So my thing is, my next question to you, Andy, is what are you offering? I don't know what you're offering. Like, if I don't know what you're offering, I don't know what you're selling. I need to know what you're going to offer these guys. What are you an expert in? What are you going to deliver to these guys to help them with, right? Is it to sell membership tickets? Is it to sell corporate boxes? Is it to sell sponsorship for them? What is it? What is the offer? What is the campaign? And what is the result that you're trying to deliver, Andy? I need those answers. If you give me those answers, I'll be able to help you. Financial audit for hospitals to optimize expenses so they can stay afloat during the pandemic. I don't think hospitals are having too much trouble, Denise, in staying afloat right now. I think they're really, really busy and they're collecting on their insurances. But if you want to do audits, so depending on the hospital, right? So financial audit's not free. You can't offer a free financial audit. That's just too big. And most hospitals will never accept a free financial audit, Denise. So that's my next thing, right? So for me, what is a piece of the puzzle? What is something you can offer as a help, something that leads to a proper financial audit for hospitals, right? So if you do expense reduction, expense management, maybe you can offer a quick assessment on how they can save, if they can save 2 or 3% on their energy bills, or 2 or 3% on acquisition of product categories in the market. If you have a buying co-op that you can offer these people so they get better deals and save money for those sorts of things, if that's the sort of thing you're talking about, Denise, then we can craft an offer, but you need to be a little bit more specific to me to be able to help you. Reignited database management, fan communication. Okay, most companies, I think the fan communication thing really isn't going to be the thing. And merchandise is something that they're already good at selling, Andy. I don't think they need a system to sell more merchandise, because you can buy their merchandise on their websites, you can buy their merchandise on Amazon, you can buy their merchandise on multiple resellers in the market. So from a merchandise point of view, if you went to a football company and said, hey, we can sell more merchandise, they're going to say, well, right now we're doing $100 million with, I think Man United, some teams are in the hundreds of millions of dollars just out of merchandise. So I don't know if you have that level of expertise, Andy, that you can have an impact on hundreds of millions of dollars in merchandise sales. If that's your call, then I would say, yep, I would just go direct to the market and say, listen, let me sell you millions of dollars worth of merchandise, right? You don't, okay? So it's going to be really hard to convince these people to spend some time with you to buy what you have to offer, right? Because they're going to ask you some, if you're going to target a particular part of their market, where I'd be going for selling club memberships, or selling sponsorship, or selling reserve corporate boxes. Those companies would love people to help them with that. So, hey, I'd love to come and work with a strategy, or show you a strategy on how you can maximize selling your sky boxes, right? That's what I would do, Andy, if I was targeting professional sports teams, because things like Go High Level isn't going to cut it to manage millions of people of fans on a database if they are collecting fans, right? So, so that's the thing. Most of these companies have marketing departments. The person you're going to be speaking to at the club is not the manager of the club. You're going to be speaking to the marketing director of the club. So my question to you is, in thinking that, reignite the database, go and write a campaign for 5 football teams and offer them a campaign. So, hey, look, I've put together a campaign to either resell your memberships, resell season tickets, resell corporate skyboxes. Can I give you the campaign, or can we connect? Yes or no? There's your message. That's what I would do. Yeah. So anybody else? So that's the campaign that I would run, Andy. I would run that campaign. Say, hey, let me put together I've got a reignition campaign that I want to run. I'd love to help you. This is a great way to boost sales in the early or the mid or whatever the part of the season you're in. Get sponsorship, get skyboxes, whatever you want to choose as the offer, and go and offer it to them directly. Now, I'll guarantee you that if you do get through, you'll get a conversation. Yeah. John says roofers can easily pay for a campaign with one sale. That's true. Email blast from Email Cash Blueprint outsourcer, from an outsourcer. Okay. 50,000 email blasts delivered to target audience, homeowner income over 75K within a 50-mile radius. Mate, I would just offer that if you go back to the reignition campaign offer, say, hey, I'd love to run a campaign that's going to give you access to 50,000 people with 75K plus within a 50-mile radius. Can I show you how that works? Are you interested? There's your offer, John. If you can do that, that would be awesome. Anybody else want me to craft an offer for them? If you've got a question, you can ask me a question. I'm more than happy to help, right? The goal is we go and get the next client. That's the goal here. We want to get a client in the next 2 days, 3 days. So think about what I've just shared. Think about the concept and the strategy. I've pretty much outlined the entire blueprint for you as we speak here. So if anybody's got any questions, please type in. Chris Lacey, AdWords for funeral services. Hey, I'd like to run through an optimized campaign, an AdWords campaign that's optimized for a funeral service, right? For the funeral business. Yeah. Look at some of the ads that they're running right now. Look at what they're offering in their ads. Offer the audit. And if you follow the same script that I gave about 40 minutes ago in this section, when I went through the different offers, that's what I would offer for an audit. I'd say, hey, right now, number one thing, thinking of what's going on in the world, the one-way travel business is a very popular business right now. But what I probably would do is funeral homes are dying for help. I would target independent funeral homes rather than the franchise funeral homes. And my question is, do you know somebody who knows somebody who runs a funeral business? Is what I'd be doing. And I'd be offering and say, hey, have you ever thought of running an optimized campaign for 2021 for the market? I'd love to know. I'd love to show you what an optimized campaign looks like. And the best way to do that would be to audit a current campaign. There's your offer, Chris. Randy, I'm offering financial planners, insurance agents with a client reactivation and the email text follow-up with high level. So Randy, why don't you just offer that? Just say, hey, I want to show you what a campaign looks like. I've got a current campaign. I'd love to show you what the campaign looks like, or I'd love to map out an automated campaign that does this. Am I going to do this for 2 people? All I need is a yes or no. Would you like this campaign? Yes or no? And offer that. There's your offer, right? What you're going to do is show them the campaign. Then you can ask them, would you like me to set up the whole automation and do that? That's your give. The give is the campaign. The setup is your open door for the conversion to sale. So yeah, I would go and offer that to as many financial planner, insurance company agents as possible. Then you can set up, and then you can talk about lead management. Then you can talk about deal flow. You can talk about all those cool things, because that opens you up to a phenomenal opportunity with using Go High Level. Absolutely. So that's what I would do, Randy. Any other questions? I'm more than happy to craft a campaign if you've got a question. We've got a whole bunch of people here, which is good to see. Let's stop sharing my screen here. And Grant, would you like me to craft a campaign for you? Craig, would you like me to craft a campaign for you? Eric Watts, do you need a campaign? Harry, Avery, Mo, Darius, what are you doing these days? If you want me to craft a campaign, happy to craft a campaign. Christian? Yes. So tell me what you're doing, Darius.
John, what's going on?
All right, man. Good to see you. Good to hear your voice, man. It's been way too long, my friend.
It's been way too long, way too long. It's good to hear your voice. Thanks for all the training that you've been given. Here's a question for you. How about a campaign to for helping coaches get more clients off of LinkedIn.
So helping who?
Coaches. So
Coaches.
yeah.
Are we talking business coaches? Are we talking, you know,
life
what
coaches.
type of coaches?
How about life coaches or health coaches?
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So, well, all coaches want clients, right? All coaches want clients. Okay. So my question is, what service are you offering to help them get clients? How do you get them clients, Darius?
Show them outreach techniques on LinkedIn without having to spend money on ads.
Okay, so generating clients on LinkedIn. So here's what I would offer. And this is a give. So to a couple of people, you're not going to offer this to everybody. You can use this as a standard offering down the track if you want to, but if it's a one-to-one type thing, I would say, hey, would you like to get a hold of my current mapped out strategy to help health coaches or life coaches extract and engage clients on LinkedIn? Are you interested in that? Yes or no? So I'm going to walk you through live, right, on how you can actively engage, connect, and generate clients easily for your health coaching business or for your life coaching business directly from LinkedIn. Are you interested? Yes or no? That's it.
Yep, pretty straightforward.
So then all you do is do a conversation. Say, right, let's map out the journey of the engagement and what you got to do to get that. And right now, do you have a process right now? No. If we have this process and we're able to actively engage 20, 30 people a day, build a database of 3 to 1,500 people per month, how many clients could you handle in your coaching business, right? Do you think if we put this strategy into place that we could get the number of clients you're looking for over the next couple of months? Yes or no?
Yeah, sounds good, John.
There is your pitch, right? Then you say, hey, that's the system. Right now, you don't have a system. When would be a good time to put this system in place? Right now. Now, do you want to figure this out all yourself, or would you like my team to take care of that for you? Because you've been kind enough to give the time, and because of the time of year, and we're hitting new year, and I want to kick this off, I'm just offering a deal of deals to a couple of people. So normally we charge X amount of dollars to do this. If you want to do this right now, it's probably going to cost you less than what you're going to be charging for 2 or 3 clients. Would you like to go ahead? Yes or no?
And what would you do with price objections? What would be your objection handling for?
How much do you charge? Oh, well, it's going to, by the way, if you follow this process in terms of how I've laid it out, you probably won't get a price objection, because what they've done is they're already involved in a process with you. They've already seen how this can work for them. And so the question you want to ask leading into what you're charging is, you want to sit and say, look, you can figure this out all yourself. We know how to do this. We've got guys that can do this on the flip of a dime, right? We can get this up and running really quickly and get this process and start the automation, and we could be feeding you opportunities within days, right? Or you can figure all this out yourself. It's probably going to take about 3 or 4 months, and I know you're probably busy, right? But when would be a good time to put? Right now, you don't have the automation and the process and the cadence and communication. If you were to have that, what would the impact be to your business? What do you think? They're going to go, wow, this would be awesome. I'll have regular client opportunities. Great. So what's a client worth to you? And they'll say, well, we're a coaching business, average customer, 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, right? Get a number, right? So do you think if we were engaging, 30, 40, 50, 75 people a day, right, with this process at that 75, do you think that we could probably get 3 or 4, maybe 5 of those into an appointment strategy? If we put 5 people in front of you, Mr. or Mrs. Coach, how many of those people do you think you will help become a client? Oh, well, we should be able to get at least 1 or 2. Well, great. So 1 or 2 means, $6,000 to $20,000 worth of sales, right? So my question to you is it worth investing this to get that? Yes or no?
Yep.
And they're going to go, well, that's a no-brainer. So if you gave me 1 client and I gave you 3 or 4 back, would that be good? Right? And then I go, yeah, does that sound fair? Yep, sounds fair. Great. Well, normally we charge X amount of dollars. Right, I want to do a deal here as an incentive to get going. If you'd like us to go through this process and deliver it to you, we'll charge you this fee. Would you like to go ahead? Yes or no? I'd be very hard pressed if you got a price objection.
Too easy, John.
And by the way, I would choose coaches already that are doing at least 100,000 plus in revenue. 10 grand a month is who I would choose. 10 or more. I'd probably even go 20 grand. Are you currently doing 20 grand? Do you want to double, triple, or quadruple your coaching business in the next 6 months?
Why would you set that price as your target, 20 grand or more a month?
Because somebody who's got 20 grand a month is going to spend money. They know that the only way they're going to grow is to actually invest money on growing. They're not going to grow organically. At 20 grand, they're going to cap out if they're the coach, if they're one-on-one coach, right? So what do they need? Like all clients leave, right? Not everybody stays. So what do they need? They need a consistent deal flow of ideal prospects that they can generate on LinkedIn. So that's what they would do. So they've got money. I don't want to go and work with broke coaches. I don't know about you, Darius, but working with a broke coach isn't going to work for me or you. Yeah?
It doesn't. It's kind of frustrating.
Sorry? Yeah, well, you're wasting time with people who've got no money. People who've got no money, they're not in business, right? People who've got money, they're in business. And the people who've got money are doing 20 grand plus a month. So 20 grand plus a month, would they be willing to invest whatever you're asking for your system? People who are making $240,000 a year have a threshold of about $15,000 to $20,000 that they'll invest in their marketing. Does that make sense?
Yep, makes sense, John.
Is that helpful? By the way, this is all recorded, man. You can hop on the Facebook group and actually listen to the whole recording of this section. This is at the 125 hour mark, or sorry, the 120 mark. So 1 hour and 20 minutes, it's you, your strategy, your copy, okay?
All too easy, John. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, thanks for hopping on, mate. Good to hear your voice.
All right, thanks again.
Okay, so any other questions? Lawyers, AdWords, under 10K a month that don't invest in marketing. Yeah, most people under 10K a month, they might, but they generally don't. I'm looking for, normally at that level with that industry, Denise, you're probably looking at people at that 20 to 30K mark. Eric, lawyers for AdWords, same thing, man. I would go and search, find 25 law firms that are currently running ads on AdWords and go and make a direct offer to say, hey, what we're doing is we're helping a couple of companies to fine tune their ad campaigns by doing a clear audit and to optimize campaigns. Normally we charge for this sort of thing, but we're going to do this for 2 companies. What the result of this is generally we've seen a 25 to 30% increase in results in ad campaigns. Now, if you're running ads, I would imagine that might be useful to you. Let me know if this is a yes or a no. There's your offer, Eric. Amy, speaking of coaches that have high ticket offers on the back end, I have a program that allows them to offer financing. Go and offer it, Amy. If you can offer financing to coaches, they love it, right? Absolutely. They sign up for the funding partner program and make a percentage off whoever finances their coaching programs. That pitch would be really simple. Hey, right now, what if I gave you an option to make it easy to get paid upfront for all your coaching programs by giving you somebody who'll fund your programs for you? Are you interested, yes or no? That's an easy win, right? Hey, let me show you. If you want people to pay, if you get the objection of money, well, let's give you free money. Let's make it easy for you, right? We've got an option where we'll fund or finance your coaching programs. Would you like to know how? Yes or no? Direct offer. Eric, thank you. All right, so I'm going to say thank you for being here. Lots of stuff. You can go back and watch the pre-record, call to call. Those of you who've joined me in Clients Unleashed, thank you. Please make sure you go through the units because it's going to set you up for the lead gen strategy that we have next week, where we're opening up to 50 opportunities a day, 15 to 20 direct conversations that'll lead to 1 to 3 appointments per day. If you're in Clients Unleashed, we're going to be launching that part of the training next week. Those who want to join, just go to clientsunleashed.com. I will put that in the chats here for everybody to see. So just go to clientsunleashed.com. Just go in there. You'll see that's actually come out incorrectly. Yeah, if you go to clientsunleashed.com, you can jump in. All the information is on that page to join. Why is that going to, yeah, that's going to everyone. All right. Which Facebook group is this recording in? Consulting Unleashed. Randy, if you go to the Consulting Unleashed Facebook group, ask to join, it'll be there. Thanks, Chris, clientsunleashed.com. If you go to clientsunleashed.com, this whole process, we've actually mapped out clarity in the offer, making sure you're confident in delivery. Then we've got the lead generation piece, automated lead gen on autopilot. The first 700 leads are free. First 700 leads. So imagine what you can do with 700 leads, right? Then we have the process of the sales process. So what I'm trying to do is we're just trying to focus on consistently generating clients. The goal in Clients Unleashed is to help you generate 100,000 plus in annualized revenue over the next 3 to 6 weeks. So if you haven't already gone and had a look, go and have a look at Clients Unleashed. The door is open right now. Chris is saying, looking forward to that training for sure. Good call. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate you being here. Denise, thank you. Mark, thank you. Grant Marsden, thank you. Steve, good to see you here. Randy, Darius, Amy, Andy, Don Ferguson, as always, thank you. Big supporter. Avery, Mo, Rod, I appreciate all you being here. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're going to do some cool stuff. So in tomorrow's call, what are we doing tomorrow? So we are making sure. So number 5. So number 5, cool. So tomorrow's, sorry, I should say number 6. Number 6, I'm going to show you, I'm going to literally walk you through a really cool process to open the door to actively engaging people. So really, I'm going to walk you through a really simple structure that I've used very, very successfully to literally open the door to people coming to me and having a chat to me about how our agency services work. So going to be sharing that concept and that strategy tomorrow in tomorrow's live training. Same time, same bad channel. I will see you here. Thank you for joining me today. The recording is already live in the Facebook group. Other than that, knock this out of the park. I've given you a whole bunch of campaigns. Love for you to action this. The goal is to go and get your next paying customer. That's the goal, right? Just to get one. That's the key. So again, thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you same time, same bad channel tomorrow. Take care, everybody.